A massive thank you to Jero for sponsoring this video on Patreon. Wyleth Soul of Steel versus Tormod the Desecrator. A 2-lander and some decent equipment. Armoured Skyhunter is always worth going for. Yeah, we're on the draw. It's a little bit risky. I'd rather have some ramp in hand, but we'll play that one. Okay, getting into another land at least. Let's just go for the Windswept Heath. And do we care about getting Basilisk Collar out? Yeah, I think just for the sake of getting a Basilisk Collar into play, we'll get out the Plateau, an untapped land obviously, and we'll play the Collar. I'm not too happy about the start that we'll be getting off to, not being able to ramp, so I'm just going to play out the equipment, even though we've got nothing to equip it to. We're also up against a black player, so I think we're more likely to discard stuff than we are to see our black things destroyed, or see our equipments destroyed, that is. So let's throw out a Swiftfoot Boots as well. Skull Clamp is good to see. A Lost Legion. When it enters the battlefield, scry 2, that is a 2-3 for 3 mana. Okay, Lightning Greaves as well, so am I just going to play Lightning Greaves so that we can put it on our commander next turn? We can't protect our commander with a Swiftfoot Boots at the moment, unfortunately. So let's go for the Lightning Greaves here, we'll take a turn off. And I'm not too bothered about throwing out the Skull Clamp, so let's take this chance to get out the tap land now. Problem is, if we go Lightning Greaves onto our commander, we won't be able to equip it up with anything else. But we've got 2 instances of haste at least. And now it is Tormod, the Desecrator. Nothing in the graveyard yet, thankfully. But a 2-3 swings in at us. Alright, and now we get into the ramp. Are they going to trade our commander? I think I'd just rather take the Talisman here. And then we can go for the Armoured Skyhunter next turn. It is an evasive creature. So let's go for Skull Clamp. If it was against anyone other than a black deck, I wouldn't be loading out things like this without using them, but we are against a black deck, so I don't think we need to be worried. Now, a Dreadworm, which is landfall, and it gains indestructible till the end of the turn, say 5-4. So there's a lot of power on the board now. Luckily we've got some lifelink with Basilisk Collar. Now there we go, getting into a land as well, so that's good. Crack that for a mountain, and then let's play the Armoured Skyhunter. I think with the floating mana we might as well just go for Skull Clamp. I don't think they're going to be able to get rid of our creature, although they could make us sacrifice it. We'll go for Lightning Greaves as well. And then we're taking 11 damage next turn. So we're going to have to try and gain a bunch of life somehow. And just reading this now, I think it gets through Shroud. You may put an aura or equipment onto the battlefield. If it's an equipment, attach it to a creature you control. I think the aura will have to target. Yeah, let's test that out actually. So Spirit Mantle onto... Oh no, it doesn't have to target. Alright, so the auras get through Shroud as well. So we get another buff there. And even if they do get a flyer, we'll still be able to swing through. What is that? That is when it dies, return it to the battlefield under your control. And they've made landfall, so it has indestructible. It's just a case of us trying to stabilise at this point. We're being punished for not having enough ramp to go with the hand that we started with. Then casting a Funeral Rites, draw 2, lose 2, and then mill 2. And they have Lochthwain Paladin and a Sanitarium Skeleton. These are all fairly modern cards, so I wonder if it's a newer Magic Online player. Maybe it's a drafter and they're just using some of their draft picks to make a commander deck. Anyway, swinging in at us with a 5-4. I would think they would just turn everything in sideways here. They do. Alright, SRAM Senior Edificer. I think we definitely need to get our commander into play. And then we'll put the Greaves onto our commander. And we need to hold up 2 mana so that we can give this Death Touch and Lifelink. So I think we're just swinging in with our commander like that. And we will draw 1 card, which takes us into a land. That's really good. So I think in that case, we can put the Greaves over here. I'll put the Swiftfoot Boots on our commander to protect it. And then we'll play a land. Oh, and then we need to put the Lightning Greaves back over here. Put the collar onto the Cat Knight. And then we can put the Greaves back over. So now we have a 5-3 with protection from creatures, Shroud, Death Touch, Haste and Lifelink, and Flying. And if it dies, we'll draw 2 cards. Now, an Infernal Scarring. Like I said, I don't know if this is... Seen a lot of like draft picks here from recent sets, so I don't know if that's what it is or if it's some kind of pauper deck and he's just testing it out. Anyway, enchanted creature, +2 to power, and when it dies, draw 2 cards. Then throwing down Null Caller. Exile a creature from your graveyard for 4 mana and create a tapped 2/2 zombie. While their commander's in play, they'll actually get 2 zombies for doing that. And then swinging in for 5. They don't have Indestructible on this thing. So let's see here. We'll give them less card draw and we'll knock the minion's return off of this. So we'll also take less damage if we block here. So we'll gain 5 and lose 4. Going up to 9. And the creature died and then came out of the graveyard. So that triggered their Tormod. And they got themselves into a tapped zombie. We've got Path to Exile now. I think... Yeah, we're a mana short of getting down SRAM as well. I think we go Sword of Feast and Famine so that we can untap our lands. It's protection from black so that we can go in with our commander as well. So let's swing in at our opponent. We'll force them to discard a card. We'll draw a couple of cards here. Okay, that will be a good one. Arden, Intrepid Archaeologist. Haven't managed to play with this one yet. The Core Blade Master will trigger the swords twice as well. So we hit our opponent, we'll untap our lands, and they decide to discard a Haunted Cloak. So let's get down the Arden, and I think we're okay to play SRAM now as well. We might have to make use of Path to Exile as well. Land comes into play and makes that. Snake, a 5/4 Indestructible. Is it a snake? No, it's a Worm Horror. That is a Cauldron's Gift, which they do have Adamant on. So they mill 4 cards. You may choose a creature in your graveyard, return it to the battlefield with a plus counter on it. They milled an Elspeth's Nightmare, Maya's Grasp, and a Barrow Witches, as well as a land as well. They decide to bring back the Barrow Witches, which enters the battlefield, return a target knight from graveyard to hand. And they do have the Lochthwain Paladin in the graveyard, so they can grab that back. They get another zombie into play tapped as well, because they reanimated a creature. And then the knight leaving the graveyard gives them another zombie. Then a Hateful Eidolon. You see a lot of this on Arena. Now we'll let them attack in before we decide to do anything here. Yeah, it looks like they're just turning everything in sideways that they can. That is indestructible. I think we try to get rid of their commander here, although they just replay their commander again next turn. Yeah, let's go after the 5/4. Path to Exile, like I always say, pays for half of the commander tax as well, so it kind of feels bad to get rid of commanders with Path to Exile. I'd rather just get rid of a creature permanently so we don't have to worry about it at all. And then do we just refill their hand a little bit here? If we block like that, and then we shock their commander with the Sword of Fire and Ice during our turn, they'll have less creatures to do stuff with. I mean, they're getting a lot of zombies here. I think we're going to draw enough cards off of our commander next turn, so yeah, maybe we try and get rid of a zombie and we just block 4 damage with the SRAM now. we should get a couple of shocks with Sword of Fire and Ice, thanks to the Core Blade Master. So they'll draw a card with Hateful Eidolon, the Lost Legion dying, and its aura will draw them 2 cards, so they go up 3 here. We go up to 10 life. Oh, I thought they were going to draw 3 there. Where is Infernal Scarring? Oh, you just draw 1 card. I thought it was 2. Okay, so they go up 2 cards, up to 3. And we get into another land, that's good. So let's get down the Sword and the Core Blade Master. And we should be able to do something after combat as well, thanks to untapping our lands. No sense in paying the equip cost for the Sword, because Arden is going to pile on. And I don't know if I did that right. Oh yeah, choose auras and equipment to attach. Thought I'd done that wrong for a second there. So we choose the Sword of Fire and Ice. Definitely the Basilisk Collar. We'll put Skull Clamp on there as well. Lightning Greaves is free, so we might as well move that on to draw more cards. I'll keep the Spirit Mantle on the Armoured Sky Hunter just for the sake of having a good blocker. And then they all just get unattached for some reason. Why did that happen? Magic Online? Why did that happen? Oh, I don't know. Alright, well, maybe we just have to pass the turn over again here then. We can untap our lands, can't we? Yeah, let's still swing in with Wyleth. We just won't refill our hand like we were going to. We won't gain life either. Yeah, I'm not sure what I did wrong there. You have to, when you play Magic Online, you kind of have to work out what it wants you to do, as opposed to just doing what you want to do. We just get into some more mana, which is pretty much the thing we've needed this whole game. But yeah, we're giving our opponent an opening here. It has double strike as well, because our commander's obviously a warrior. So they'll discard 2 cards here. We'll untap our lands twice, but it's not relevant because we don't have anything to do at instant speed. First thing they discard is Alchemist's Gift, and then discarding the Paladin again. We might as well throw out the Sol Ring, and we'll have to protect ourselves against another attack. We should have gotten rid of the Hateful Eidolon and a zombie there, thanks to the 2 shocks from Sword of Fire and Ice, but I must have misclicked or done something wrong there. So first thing we want to do is put Lifelink and Death Touch onto our protected creature. We'll put the Clamp on there as well. In fact, we'll just load up the Armoured Sky Hunter, just for the sake of gaining more life. And then we'll give the Arden protection from black as well, so that can block. Yes, hopefully we haven't thrown the game away there. I don't think we have. Our opponent just questioning how we've ended up with more life here. I don't think they've seen the lifelink on Basilisk Collar. Tormod the Desecrator coming back into play. Yeah, as long as they continue to swing in, we're going to continue to gain life. And they just turn everything in sideways. We've got the 7/5 lifelinker, so I'm not worried here. It also has Death Touch, so we can get rid of any creature we like here. Let's get rid of the big 4/5. And I don't like what the Eidolon can do, although we can shock that if we do the trick right with Arden next turn. Let's just get rid of the thing that can make more zombies here. Alright, so we stay at 10. We did 2, 4, 6 and 7. Yeah, so we took 7 and gained 7, so we just stayed at 10. Let's throw out the mountain. Even more life from the Batter Skull now. Now then, let's see if we can actually do the right thing with Arden. So, choose a permanent or player. We want everything to go on Wyleth. Maybe that's what I did wrong last time. Yeah, I wasn't choosing permanents. Yeah, I don't think I was choosing the right permanents before. Anyway, we'll put pretty much everything onto our commander. There we go, it worked correctly this time. So then we go straight through to our opponent. We'll hit them with the first strike of damage. We'll refill our hand here. Yeah, so that's how it should have worked the first time. We've got Vigilance thanks to the Batter Skull as well. And our opponent graciously takes it. We were going to shock their Eidolon and a zombie. Actually would have gone for their commander and the Eidolon. Left them with some zombies. They would have discarded a couple of cards. We would have drawn a couple of cards, we would have untapped our lands twice as well. But no instant speed stuff. We were drawing into a land and Sword of the Animist, just a bunch of lands on top, but we had everything we needed in the opening hand, so it was actually mana we needed there. Yeah, a little bit of a goofy one, and I don't think it was a particularly fair matchup, although they did very well with this, what looks to be a pauper deck. I'm not really sure what they were doing here, but it did well against us anyway. Hopefully you all enjoyed this revisit to Wyleth Soul of Steel. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.